Family Crusade here, and welcome to Tater Planting 2025. And so before we set about doing the tapes, I did a modification to this tractor, and then we went and cultivated the land, and you know, spread a bit of guano, and then set the tapes. Had a bit of a breakdown with Tater Planter, but we sorted that out. So another job well done. So yeah, sit back and enjoy, and we'll catch you on the next. Okay, so I'm just doing another little job here. I've got the potatoes to rotivate, well not the potatoes but the land for the potatoes to rotivate. And I've had these raised PTOs for these tractors for bloody years, and they're in the stillage in the back of the shed, and I fetched them out the other day, so I thought, well, I'm going to put one on the Power Major because it you know, just give you a bit more brake horsepower or engine horsepower, you know, to drive the rotivator, because it's just slightly geared down, about 3/4 to 1. So and you've got to keep the oil in the back end. You either let it out or you've got to keep it in. Well, I've managed to keep mine in because I just lifted it up with a teleporter, and to be fair, I've only been about 15 minutes, and I got the other one out and this one in. I made a new gasket for it. I hope the sun's not shining on the camera anyway, but yeah, so you can see what I've been playing with there. And the good thing also about this, that's in gear now because I can't turn it, but one way or the other, oh there you go. Now that's independent, so the PTO can be going round and this will be stood still, which is great when your rotivator's on the floor, especially if it's on a concrete yard. That means you're able to just pick it up without having to take the PTO out of gear. Well, not having to take the PTO out of gear, you've got to have the PTO in gear to work the hydraulics. So in other words, you can work the hydraulics and the blades won't go round, whereas normally they would do on the PTO shaft. So that's a plus for me on that one, and then that's in gear. But the power wise will remain to be seen when I set about you know, doing the tater ground. So yeah, we're going to drop it on the floor. I'm going to give it a go in a minute. So this is where this job excels for me, the raised PTO. One, it runs in line, and when you pick it up, the bloody thing don't knock and rattle like hell. And for two, it's on the floor. Now normally if you've got the PTO on, it would have to wind round and chew into the floor to lift it up. Otherwise, you know, you take the PTO off to lift it up and then put the PTO back on. Because now, you don't have to worry about that, because the PTO's out of gear and it just lifts up. So like, it's almost giving you live hydraulics in a sense. So that in itself is bloody marvellous, because if you're on a concrete floor, and I've done it many times, you get the PTO all yonked around everything, and then you realise you can't pick it up, so you have to take the PTO off again. So yeah, that's a big plus, that is. And the fact that for a Howard rotivator, the shaft runs in line, and now we're going to try it, and if the horsepower comes better, well, it's a win-win always round. I've had these in the shed for like 10 years, never used them, and only with the fact that Michael Duncan put his post on the Ford and Fortune page, it got me thinking. So I've done it today, and here we are. So here we are then, it's me and my grandson, the youngest grandson, spreading a bit of fertiliser, ready to set the tates. And although Jamie's not very fluent with his spreading, and I mean, I'm not that particularly clever at it either, but we're getting it on. And Jamie's used to you know, a big mod state-of-the-art GPS John Deere, and you know, spreader, you know, capable of holding 3 ton of stuff. And so it's a bit of a shock to carry a bucket and spread it by hand. But anyway, it's a good learning curve, and we're both having a go, and at least we're getting some stuff on, you know, so the tates have got a better chance of you know, coming good. Okay, so the Tatey planter come to a halt. It was apparent that the chain had came off that was driving the tables where to put the tates in. So I was having a bit of a conflab to what we was going to do, whether we would get the other planter out or whether we would repair this one or what. But while I was talking, I had a little dig down and just to see how deep the tates was and see if they got a reasonable spacing. And so then we took the decision between us that we should just take it in the workshop and see if we could upend it and see what there was, if we could do a quick repair, and so by as we could crack on again. Short of that, it was to get the other planter out and a big swap over and sort of start again. But yeah, unfortunate thing, but it's one of the things that crops up every now and again, and we just have to overcome it and crack on. So the next lot of pictures you'll see me is I'm welding a spacer in to keep the two sprockets lined up so as the chain don't climb off, and then readjust the chain. So we got on with it and got it sorted and got it back into work, and away we went. Okay, so this is the culprit we've been talking about, and that's that chain in there, look. And at the top is a slip clutch, and it was hanging to the left as we were looking at it. And what I did, I welded a spacer in there. You can just see a square plate with a bit of weld on the top, and I just shoved that in the side to keep it over until such time we can pull it all apart and make the appropriate bush and washers up and so forth. But it's a complete strip down to do that. So that's what we was up to. So we've been setting tates today with the P6 and the robot. After a few alterations and bits and pieces, it finally got going and it was okay. So we're all in there now, all in order. They've just got to be ridged up, and yeah, went ever so well. Pleased with that. Well, we've had a brilliant weekend setting the tates, family weekend, and yeah, it couldn't have been better. So that pretty much wraps it up for this one. And but don't forget to get your standard forward bits together and send them in so we can do a video of it all. Whether you can run one, work one, or whether you just got one that will sort of work in motion sort of thing. Still get it together, send it through. Let's get another video of everybody's tractors, and for something different, and keep the interest going. So until then, we'll catch you on the next.